How we doing, folks? It's Kelley, your certified holistic nutritionist, coming to you straight from the airways, Houston, Texas. How we doing this morning, folks? It's Kelley, certified holistic nutritionist, like I said, coming to you from the airways of Houston, Texas. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're just starting out the live. Hope you had a fantastic night. Here on this channel, as you know what we talk about. We talk about all things type 2 diabetes. Talk about all things insulin resistance, gestational diabetes, pre-diabetes, any of that, all of that. That's what we talk about on this channel. And how to defeat this condition once and for all. Because here's the thing, folks. Comes to type 2 diabetes, whoo, you know how it is. It's a dietary and lifestyle driven condition. I don't know if you've ever heard that before, but that's exactly what's causing it. So do me a favor, folks. Once you're coming into the live, double tap that screen, bebop that screen, and then share this live out with anybody that you know that is struggling with this condition, struggling with insulin resistance, pre-diabetes, gestational diabetes, erectile dysfunction. Do you know that erectile dysfunction was a form of insulin resistance? Same thing with PCOS, just insulin resistance of the ovaries. So that's the thing, folks, about type 2 diabetes, about insulin resistance, about all these conditions related to insulin resistance. You want to know a fun fact? The fun fact, or the cool part is, man, this thing can be reversed. Can reverse this thing, folks. Do me a favor, folks, and bebop that screen, double tap that screen, and share this live out with anybody that you know that is struggling with this condition, type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, erectile dysfunction, the whole gambit of stuff. Damn. How we doing this morning, folks? A couple of more folks coming into the room. Do me a favor and bebop that screen when you're coming into the live, double tap that screen, and then share this live out with anybody that you know that is struggling with insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, all of that. So my name's Kelley. How's it going over here, folks? My name's Kelley. For those who are just joining us, talk about all things insulin resistance, how to defeat it. So what are we going to talk about on this live today? First thing we're going to talk about is what the heck is it? Or like, what is this game that we're playing? I call it a game of blood sugar Tetris. Because blood sugar can be controlled by every meal that you eat. Every meal that you eat is controlled through blood sugar. There's a lot of other things involved, but for how your body functions. But blood sugar is like one of the main things. Blood sugar, temperature. Your body always wants to maintain a constant temperature, like 98.6 degrees. And it wants to maintain a constant blood sugar. Less than 100. Less than 100 is a teaspoon. That's all your body wants to see the whole time. So it will fight tooth and nail to maintain its temperature. It's why when you get cold, you shiver. You shiver to try to keep warm. It's why when you get hot, you sweat so that your body can cool off. Sweating is your body trying to cool off, trying to get back to that 98.6 degrees. And it's the same thing with blood sugar. It is always, and I mean always, trying to maintain less than a teaspoon, about a teaspoon or so of blood sugar. That's all it wants to see. And it will fight tooth and nail to get it there. So as a result, if you've got too much blood sugar, your body will release insulin to try to take all of that blood sugar and put it back into the cells where it belongs. Put it into the cells where it belongs. But here's the thing. If you're insulin resistant, that's not going to happen. It will happen, but it's going to take a lot of work to overcome the resistance. So how do you do that? The question is, how do you do that? You do that. How do you reduce the resistance, make yourself more insulin sensitive? You do that through the power of your lifestyle. So, because it should always be, here's what I believe, or here's what I know. I know that it should always be lifestyle first, medication second. If you cannot fix it with the diet and lifestyle first, okay, then we can talk about the medication. But it should always be the diet, lifestyle first. How we doing, folks? It's Kelley, Certified Holistic Nutritionist. Do me a favor, when you just come into the live, bebop that screen, double tap that screen, and then share this live out with anybody that you know that is struggling with this condition. All right? Let's see if we got any questions. Put new in the chat. If you're new as well, throw a new in the chat for me, and then tap in with me. Let me know where you're from. What city are you from? What country are you from? What state you're from, man? I want to shout out your city. I want to shout out your country. I want to shout out your state. I'm in Houston, Texas. Been in Houston now for coming up on 12 years, almost 15 years in Texas altogether. I think it's time to move, folks. I've been in Houston. I've been in Texas for too long. It's as long as I lived anywhere. But let's see, where the folks from? Tap in with me. Let me know where you're from. Anybody new? Nobody new? Okay. Everybody's returning back. So welcome back. Welcome back. So if you're back, you know what we talk about. We talk about how to defeat this condition once and for all. Oh, Ontario. Here we go. Got a couple folks. Shout out to you, Lisa, from Ontario. Shout out to Burlington. I've been to Burlington quite a few times. Shout out to Burlington. Canada. Shout out to Canada. Been all over Canada. Shout out to Canada. I've even been to Newfoundland, right? I'm well traveled. I've been on an oil rig outside of Newfoundland. Can you believe it, that, folks? Straight out of Eric King, straight out of Alabama. Shout out to you, Eric. Niagara Falls. Ooh, another Canadian. Shout out to Canada. Man, Canada is dominating right now. The Bahamas. Shout out to the Bahamas. All right, here we go, folks. New Mexico. Shout out to you, Monique. Here's the thing. Let's get into it. How do I know that type 2 diabetes is reversible? Well, I know because I dealt with it. And also, do me a favor, folks. Bebop that screen, double tap that screen, and then share this live out with anybody that you know that is struggling with this condition. Like you struggling with type 2 diabetes, high blood sugar, you're struggling with you're just struggling with what else? Erectile dysfunction, PCOS. And share this live out there with them. Because we're gonna break some molds today. Because type 2 diabetes is a reversible condition, folks. How do I know that? It's because I did it. Because I had diabetes, I had heart disease, and I was obese. And what was crazy, and I was diagnosed this all at the very same doctor's visit. All at the very same doctor's visit. Right? But here's the thing. Even though I got that diagnosis, as I stand here today that was 5 years ago. But as I stand here today in 2025, there's no more diabetes, there's no more heart disease, and there's no more obesity. None of that. It's all gone. So the question is type 2 diabetes reversible? So I said, if I did it, why can't you do it? If I did it, what makes me any different than you? I'm no different than you. We've got the same hemoglobin running through our body, red blood cells. So nah. A lot of people say, well, what about when it runs in my family? Well, no. It doesn't run in my family, so it's hereditary. So I got to have it, right? So if my mom had it, my dad had it, I mean, somebody had it, so I got to have it, right? Here's the thing about that. Yes and no. If it runs in your family, you will get it. And then also no, if it runs in your family, you don't have to get it as well. Here's the thing about it running in your family. Genetics will set the stage, but it's your lifestyle that will steal the show. Type 2 diabetes is totally different. It's a lifestyle related condition. So it's totally different than something that runs in your family, like if your family lost their hair. Like my family, right? Like my family, we lose our hair. In your family, you lose your hair in your family. That's hereditary. There's not anything you can do about that. About that being hereditary or running in your family. But type 2 diabetes, no. That's a different type of running in your family. In what sense do you say, Kelley? Well, in the sense that if it runs in your family, if diabetes runs in your family, and if you continue to eat the same lifestyle, eat the same stuff that your family does, eat the same food, have the same stressors, live the same lifestyle, sleep the same, all of that stuff, eat the same, then yes, you have a very high possibility of developing type 2 diabetes. Yes, very high, because it runs in your family and you all live the same lifestyle. But on the other hand, if you live a totally different lifestyle than what your family does, the chances of you getting type 2 diabetes is totally different. You just totally flip the script. Totally flip the script. Just like I did. Heart disease and insulin resistance ran in my family until it ran into me. It's the same thing that's going to happen to you and your family. Type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance has run in your family until it ran into you. It ran in your family until it ran into you. Now, it all stops with you. That's who it stops with. Your kids aren't going to get type 2 diabetes. They're not. No. It stops with you. Their kids are not going to get it. No. Your grandkids, no. They're not going to get it. Your little nieces and nephews and cousins, and no, they're not going to get it either. Why? It's because it all stops with you. Diabetes ran in my family until it ran into me. Just remember that. Remember that saying, because type 2 diabetes is a dietary and lifestyle driven condition. If you change your diet, specifically your diet, what you're eating, thank you very much, Drew. Specifically what you're eating, because that's mostly what's causing it. There's a lot of things that could be causing you to have high blood sugar, but it's predominantly what you are eating. It's predominantly what you're eating. It's causing you to have high blood sugar. Yeah, it's from lack of exercise. It's from too much stress. Yeah, it's from lack of sleep. Yeah. Those are too much alcohol. Yeah. Those are all great contributors. Those are all contributing factors. But it's mostly, predominantly, what you're eating. That's what it is, folks. So anyhow, that's it. That's a little bit of introduction about me. My name is Kelley, Certified Holistic Nutritionist. Teach people how to reverse type 2 diabetes naturally by using just the power of their lifestyle, because that's what's caused it. So get to your question. So any questions y'all got, throw your questions in the chat. Let's get to some of these questions here. How do I join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge? You click right up here and then you click on my picture again, and it's going to take you to my main page there. It's going to take you to the main page. Here's where you're looking to the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. How we doing, folks? It's Kelley, your certified holistic nutritionist. Where's the 14-day challenge? There it is right there. Click that link that says Linktree. Oops. There it is. 14-day blood sugar reset challenge is right there. 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Now you're probably like, well, what the heck's the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge? If you want to join that challenge, use the discount code ESCAPE. You're probably like, well, what's the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, Kelley? Well, it is a nutrition blueprint, because like I told you before, it's predominantly what you're eating. It is nutrition blueprint. Said if you're struggling with insulin resistance, high blood sugar, if you've had it for a very, very long time, and no matter what you've done, you've tried everything, and nothing has worked. It's a bottomless pit of more and more medication. If that's you, then you should join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. It's real people, real food, real structure, real results. There's been people who have joined this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, taking their A1C from an 8 to a 6, from a 7.1 to a 5.7, from, let me see some more, from an 8 to a 6.5, and she's 80 years old, by the way, after the 14-day challenge. It's designed for people who are specifically struggling with high blood sugar and insulin resistance. If that's you, if you are struggling with high blood sugar or insulin resistance, if that's you, then the 14-day challenge is calling your name. Okay? That's what it's doing. Calling your name. But also take the quiz. There's a quiz that y'all can take. There's a quiz on my page. There's a master class that you can take. That master class is a 45-minute master class. It's absolutely free, folks. All you got to do is pay attention. All you got to do. And what am I doing in that master class? Breaking down the lifestyle medicine formula, having a peaceful mind, active body, clean eating, and effective sleep. Those are the 4 areas. My husband is 2,700 milligrams of gabapentin for nerve pain is on. Okay, they come up with some crazy names. Right? Is it for neuropathy? I assume that it probably is for neuropathy. Yeah, neuropathy is it's a heck of a thing, if that's what you're referring to. That's how destructive type 2 diabetes is. Because insulin resistance, that's how destructive it is. Because insulin touches every cell of the body, just like blood sugar touches every cell of the body. So if the blood cells can't get the nerves can't get the nutrients that they need because the insulin is blocking it, then yeah, you're going to be in a lot of pain. If your husband's ready for change, he should also join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Let's see. Questions. Oh, I don't see how to join the challenge. Here it is right here. Show you right here. Got you right here. If you click right here, see my face right here, and then you click on my picture again. Click on it again. Where's it going to take you? So you got to click on my picture again, right? Where's it going to take you? Right here. See that link? It says Linktree. Oops, that ain't it. It says Linktree right there. And boom, right here. 14-day challenge. There it is. Accept the challenge. There it is. There's a lot of goodies on my page, folks. There's a quiz, there's the master class, and then there's a free PDF. Lot of good grab and go stuff on there. But for my folks who are ready for serious change, that's going to be the 14-day challenge. Everything else is free. The quiz is free. The master class is free. Challenge is the only thing that I got to charge you for because it's real people getting real results in this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Real people getting real results, real structure. All you got to do is show up and follow the blueprint because you have insulin resistance and you have high blood sugar. So there's a blueprint for that. and it's called what you are eating. We just clean out what you're eating. What are we eating? Real, whole, unprocessed foods. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, whole grains, legumes, bean, aka beans. What else? Oh, your leaner sources of protein: chicken, turkey, tofu, tempeh, steak, eggs, fish. The same stuff that we always eat. But here's the thing. Once you learn how blood sugar works, you learn the foods that you eat in relation to blood sugar, your body will heal itself. Your blood sugar will be like, oh, okay. You're giving me what I need. I told you earlier, remember what I told you earlier? That your body wants to maintain at any cost 1 teaspoon of sugar throughout your whole body. It just wants to see 1 teaspoon of sugar throughout their whole body. All your cells. So when you change what you eat, you give it nice, clean eating, your body says, oh, okay, thank you. It's what I've been looking for the entire time. I'm no longer battling ho-ho Twinkies and ding dongs and Pop-Tarts. And fruit juice. Coca-Cola. When your body stops battling that, the diesel fuel, as I call it, you'd be surprised at what your body can do in as little as 14 days. You'd be surprised. As little as 14 days. It takes 3 months to see the overall picture in your overall A1C. 3 to 4 months. 90 to 120 days. But in as little as 14 days, like on this blood sugar reset challenge, you can put a major dent. And I mean major when I say a major dent in your overall A1C. You're like, well, doesn't it take 120 days, 90 days? Yeah, it does. But every day, your new hemoglobin are being reproduced every day. And if you clean up your diet for 14 days, once you do the overall math, that's why your A1C lowers in 2 weeks. You're like, well, what do you mean lower in 2 weeks? Well, there's been people, like I said, they've gone from an 8 to a 6. There's been people who have gone from a 9 to a 7.5 in 14 days. Okay? Blood sugar at 500, day 1, day 8, she was at a 173. So her daily blood sugar, fasting blood sugar, 500. Day 8, 173. This is the power of change, folks. This is the power of food. Let's see. Got a couple of questions. But yeah, see, folks are taking the quiz. Yeah, that link is in my description. Take the quiz. Take the register for the master class. And when you're ready for change, you join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Use that discount code ESCAPE. It's $99 to join that 14-day challenge. But if you use the discount code ESCAPE, it's $79 to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Let's see. I don't see how to join. Metformin here, 1,000 milligrams a day here. How do you feel about that? It's me. You okay with that? I can't have them greens though. High in vitamin K that messes my iron. Okay. Is there any other non-greens that are high in vitamins that could help? Here's what I recommend. All non-starchy veggies, right? Fruits, or not, no, I'm sorry, not fruits. Forget the fruits. Okay. Onions, carrots, mushrooms, cucumbers, broccoli, asparagus. Minus the greens. You said no greens, right? Bell peppers. Okay. Stack up on that. Just put in non-starchy veggies. You see a whole lot of stuff. How did I join that? How do I join the challenge? By clicking that link in my description. You click right up here and you click on my picture again. It's going to take you to that 14-day challenge. What's the challenge? The challenge is for folks who are ready to get off of that endless roller coaster of more and more medications, the bottomless pit of more and more medication. If the bottomless pit of more and more medications hasn't given you a way out, maybe it's time to build a new escape route. You know what I'm saying? The bottomless pit of more and more medications. So the new escape route that's the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. It is a nutrition blueprint. It says if you follow this blueprint, which I created it because, of course, I had diabetes, heart disease, and I was obese. No longer any of that. Over 300 people have joined this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Where? We're just cleaning up your nutrition. If we're eating real food in the right order, you do that for 14 days, your blood sugar will thank you. Your body will thank you. It'll be saying, thank you. That's the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. You want to know more about it? That link's in my bio. Use that discount code ESCAPE. You want to join that 14-day challenge. $79 to join that challenge. Let's see. A couple of questions. There is good sugar. He is talking about to bad sugar. What do you mean good sugar to bad sugar? Yeah, collard greens are great. I'm cooking some collard greens today. Yeah, so collard greens, or kale, spinach, arugula, Swiss chard. These are dark leafy greens. But collard greens, somebody asked about collard greens. Those are non-starchy veggies. Those are great. Yeah. Non-starchy veggies are amazing, especially for your blood sugar, which we're going to talk about here in a second. Warfarin makes it hard to get my A1C down because I know there's a health sugar that will help. Yeah. What will help is called the healthy sugar is called what you're eating. There's a lot of things that could be causing you to have high blood sugar, but it's predominantly what you're eating, which we're going to talk about. What's up, Chili? Like you said, 1 teaspoon of sugar is all body needs. Yep. Yep. It's the warfarin. Warfarin. That's I don't know what type of medication is that. I have some questions for you. Well, let's see. What do you got? Throw them in there. Here's what I said. I'll just say it's me. I would just say it should always be your lifestyle first. Here's my answer to your question. It should always be your lifestyle first, medication second. If you cannot fix it with the diet and lifestyle first, okay, then we can talk about the medication. But it should always be lifestyle first, okay? Medication second. What do you use to season the collards? Well, today I am making, what am I making today? A chickpea curry. Ooh, chickpea curry I'm making today. But typically, here's what I'll do. I'll do all of my non-starchy veggies, like I told you before. But here's the ones that I do. Onions, and this is my mix. Onions, garlic, cilantro, and all different other kind of spices like cumin and coriander. Man, it's a whole bunch of different spices that all these non-starchy veggies, put them in my food processor and put it in the pot, and then put my beans over the top with some curry. Whoo! Then throw some collard greens as the greens. Man, it's good stuff. It's real good stuff. Beans, folks. Beans. If you're suffering from high blood sugar, beans are going to be Beans are going to be your best friend because they're a resistant starch, and your body loves a good resistant starch. So beans are great for you, folks. Okay, blood thinner. It's a strong blood thinner. Okay, got you. How do you reset your sugar for it to go down? I'm taking metformin and lorcetan. Well, like I told you before, here's how you reset your sugars. Here's how you do it. You reset your blood sugar like this. Lifestyle first. In what specific area? Having a peaceful mind, stress management, having an active body, getting off the couch as much as you possibly can. Clean eating. That's the major one right there. I'm going to say it again. Clean eating. What's clean eating? Real, whole, unprocessed foods. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, whole grains, legumes, aka beans, and leaner sources of protein. This is the medicine, folks. Leaner sources of protein: chicken, turkey, tofu, tempeh, steak, eggs, fish. That's the actual real medicine. And then finally, sleep. That's the real medicine. If you apply these lifestyle medicine changes, I promise you, just like it did for me, just like it did for over 300 people who have joined this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, you're going to get out of that bottomless pit of more and more and more medication. If the medication merry-go-round is just spinning in circles, folks, let's find a way to get you off of it for good. Just more and more medication. The merry-go-round. You remember when you were a kid and you were on the merry-go-round and it just kept going around and around and around and around, and you see your mom every time you go by and the little horsey goes up, and then you go by one time and you see your mom, hey mom, and then you come by again and you see your mom, and then the ride goes faster and faster and faster. And you remember that merry-go-round, right? Well, that same merry-go-round from your childhood is back. But it's in the form of taking more and more and more and more medication. The bottomless pit, looking for the bottom of it to find a solution for insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. But here's the thing. I don't care how long you look down that bottomless pit. You ain't going to find a solution there. Because the solution is right there in front of you, and it's been right there in front of you the entire time. It's been right there in front of you for like however long you had the condition, whether it be 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. The solution has been there the whole time. What they say, if it was a snake, it would have bit you. If that was a snake, it would have bit you. The solution. Because it's been in your lifestyle the entire time. How you've been managing your stress, how you've been moving your body, especially how you've been eating, and how you've been managing your sleep. And if you drink a lot of alcohol or not. That's where the daggone solution is. It is within your lifestyle. And shout out to you for joining that challenge. It is within your lifestyle. Shout out to you for joining that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Your life will never, it's in your lifestyle. Your lifestyle is going to be changed forever. Your blood sugar is going to be changed forever. Shout out to you for taking a chance on yourself. Because that's it. Like I said before, folks, bottomless. For things to change, you're going to have to do something different. Because here's the thing. If nothing changes, nothing is going to change about your situation. What's the price? It's $79 to join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge if you use the live discount code ESCAPE. ESCAPE is the live discount code, 20% off. It's normally $99, but while I'm live, which I'm live right now, $79 join that 14-day challenge. Good morning. What's up, Grandma? Let's see. I'm trying to change my lifestyle, but I take insulin and it's a big problem. Yeah. Well, That's a different kind of question you asked there, Jackie. You say you're trying to change your lifestyle, but insulin, taking insulin, it's a big problem. It's kind of the point. It's kind of the answer. Like I told you before, the answer is right there. If it was snake, it would have bit you. I'm trying to change my lifestyle and I'm taking insulin and it's a big problem. Here's the thing. If you change your lifestyle, there's no try. There's no try. If you change your lifestyle, insulin won't be a big problem anymore. You see what I mean? If you change what you're eating, insulin, it won't be a big problem anymore. If you change that in your lifestyle, that little lifestyle change right there. Y'all don't get it, man. Y'all don't get what I'm telling you. If it was a snake, it would have bit you, just like it did for me. What kind of beans? Dry beans, red beans, navy beans, cannellini beans, chickpeas, all types of beans. There's endless lima beans. You know what I'm saying? Pinto beans. If you learn how to make a big pot of beans, a bean soup, woo! It'll change the game for you. Beans, I'm telling you, your best friend. Beans and like chili, no. You can do chili. You can do chili, but then you're talking about adding a bunch of junk to it too, into your chili. Nah. When you're talking about the chili minus the junk, yeah, that's good. Okay. But chili's great. I think he's talking about non-starchy beans. No, I ain't talking about non-starchy beans. I'm talking about beans. All beans are starchy. Okay. But they're a different kind of starch, though. They're called a resistant starch. It's a different kind of starch. Your body loves a good resistant starch, though. What's the price? $79 if you use the discount code ESCAPE. You're doing that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. What's an ideal breakfast? A savory breakfast. A protein, a fat, and a non-starchy veggie. A protein, a fat, and a non-starchy veggie. It's called a savory breakfast. So it can be like fish and asparagus with an avocado on the side. That's a savory breakfast. That's an example of one. Yeah, how much? Yep, price $79 if you use that discount code ESCAPE. ESCAPE. Because why? What are you escaping? The bottomless pit of more and more and more medication. I take insulin as type 2 diabetic. How do I reset it? Yeah, that's what we talked about, Jackie. I thought I broke it down for you. Thought I broke it down for you earlier. The answer is right there with the same question that you asked earlier. It's within your lifestyle. It's staring at you right in the face. You got to change what you're eating, especially that. It's a lot of things that could be causing you to have high blood sugar, but it's predominantly what you're eating. You hang out with me in the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. We're going to get you outside of your comfort zone for 14 days and show you that the whole time, whether it be 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, that the whole time it's been what you have been eating that has caused you to have high blood sugar, aka insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, PCOS, erectile dysfunction, prediabetes. It's been what you've been eating the whole time. And that's what we're going to talk about in this. And that's what we're going to uncover in the 14-day challenge. How do I reset? You reset by showing up and doing the work. That work that I just told you about right there. That's how you reset. But if you want the blueprint for it, you join that 14-day. But if that's you, if you say, listen, I'm a type 2 diabetic and I'm ready to reset my blood sugar, I'm ready to get off of that blood sugar roller coaster. If you say that's you, then you should join that 14-day challenge. Use that discount code ESCAPE. $79 to join that challenge. What kind of beans do we need? Dry beans, like I said earlier. Now, any kind of beans. Prefer you do the dry beans. Can you do canned beans? Yeah, you can do canned beans, but prefer you do the ones that you cook yourself. The raw, they're hard when you get them. They're hard. You know what I mean? You got to take them and nurture those beans. You nurture them. Soak them and all kinds of stuff. Get them ready. Those kind of beans. So black beans, navy beans, like I said, lima beans, pinto beans. There you go. Kidney beans, lima beans. There you go. Black eyed peas. You know what I'm saying? Whatever kind of beans. Those are the kind of beans we're talking about. Garbanzo beans. You know, like I told you tonight, I'm making a big garbanzo bean soup. Chickpea curry, it's called. Whoo, good stuff. If you never had a good chickpea curry, go get yourself some. Go get yourself a good recipe for chickpea curry. But how we doing, folks? My name is Kelley, your certified holistic nutritionist, coming to you straight from the airways of Houston, Texas, where we talk about all things type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, high blood sugar. If that's you, if you're struggling with high blood sugar, insulin resistance, if that's you, then you're ready to get out of that bottomless pit of more and more medication. If that's you, then the 14-day challenge is calling your name. It's like, yo, psst, it's time to do something different. Because what we've been doing the last 5 years, however long that we've dealt with this condition, what we've been doing the last 5 years, nothing has actually changed. And the only thing that's changed in the last 5 years has been my prescription. If the only thing that's changed in the last 5 years is your prescription, put a me in the chat. Put a me in the chat. If the only thing that's changed about your blood sugar is your prescription, put a me in the chat. What about fruits? Fruits are, you can do fruits, right? But you gotta know how to eat fruits. You eat fruit as a dessert. I drink lemon water to save folks and save your money. Okay, you drink lemon water, but I don't know if that's gonna do it for you. You know what I mean? But here's the thing, folks. If you haven't already done so, go take the quiz. It is a 2-minute quiz that you can take to understand and learn your diabetes management style. Like if you've been doing a great job managing this number, if you're doing not so great of a job managing this number, what number am I talking about? The A1C. Because A1C is a very, very important marker. There's a lot of important markers when you go to the doctor. I'm not a doctor. I can't prescribe you medication and all that stuff. I can't give you medical advice. But here's what I can tell you. I can tell you that it's the diet and lifestyle that caused it. You want to know how I know about this condition? That's going to be, you're going to have to drink a little bit more than some lemon water. Okay? Here it is. It's because I experienced the condition myself. Right? I experienced it myself. So I know a thing or two about insulin resistance, folks. Here it is. That's it. That was me back in 2019, 2020. That's called type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, obesity, So look at that, folks. No more diabetes, no more heart disease, no more obesity. That's afterwards. That was a year later. No more diabetes, no more heart disease, no more obesity. How many inches I lost off my waist? And here's what I changed, folks. You want to know what I changed? Something had to change. And it was called my lifestyle. If I didn't change my lifestyle, guess what was going to happen? I was just going to stay on that endless roller coaster and more medication. Nothing was going to change because I ain't changed anything. That's why nothing was going to change. I said that was 5 years ago. And I asked the question earlier, who's been battling like the last 5 years and the only thing that's changed is their prescription? I know because that was going to happen to me. But instead, I decided to change. I decided to change what was at the end of my fork because that was what was causing it. So no more diabetes, no more heart disease, no more obesity. Same thing is going to happen to you, folks. But you got to change, okay? That's it. That's the only way. If there was another way other than changing, I'd tell you. But there ain't. And what do you got to change? Your lifestyle. All right, let's get to these questions. What are the questions? What are the physical symptoms of diabetes? Well, there's constant urination. There's a black spots on around the neck. There's skin tags. You're tired all the time. You know what I mean? No matter, you wake up tired. You got brain fog. You got tingling. Your nerves are tingling. Feel like there's a lot of signs. Those are some though. I started a challenge on Monday. Do I need to test sugar morning, lunch, evening, before bed? Yeah, those are the times that we like you to check. If you've got a monitor, good. But if you just do it in the morning time, preferably. But yeah, those 3 times are the best. And then mark it on your tracker. You know, you got your tracker and mark it on your tracker. So you can find it. You'll see a trend, right? You'll start to see a trend. Let's see some more questions. Drinking lemon water lowered my A1C 6.4 to 5.7. Okay. I have ways to go, but I don't understand why. Okay. All right. I haven't heard about that lemon water. I know about lemon water, but I didn't know it was that great. You know what I mean? But till I see it, really see it, yeah. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of other things that you changed. My daily breakfast is scrambled eggs, mozzarella cheese, avocado, pico de gallo, sour cream light. Oh, Shauna, are you suffering from insulin resistance? Yeah. That's a savory breakfast, but it wouldn't be the same kind of savory breakfast that I would choose. But hey, if it works for you, fantastic. But it's dairy, folks. I don't recommend dairy. Because dairy is not great for us, folks. Okay? Contrary to popular belief, dairy is not great for us. We as human beings. A1C is a 6. I've changed my diet. What was it before? Hey, I want to change it now without meds. How? By changing. You're like, well, what do I got to change? What you are eating. What do you got to change it to? Real, whole, unprocessed foods. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, whole grains, legumes, aka beans, and leaner sources of protein. Chicken, turkey, tofu, tempeh, steaks, eggs, fish. That's what you got to do because it's predominantly what you are eating. You can take you asked about the medication. You can take medication until you're blue in the face. You can take it until you're blue in the face. Check it out. If you're sick of feeling like you're sinking in a bottomless pit of more and more pills, Let's turn that frustration into a reason to climb out. If you're frustrated by having to take more and more and more pills, we're gonna use that as a way that you can climb up out of there. Climb up out of that bottomless pit. Because if you don't change your lifestyle, that's where it's gonna lead to. A bottomless pit to nowhere. More and more and more medications. But if you change, you can flip the whole script. There's always two sides of a coin, right? There's two sides of a coin. You can continue to do what you've been doing and nothing changes, or you can totally flip the script and you can change. Because for things to change, you're going to have to change. That's the only way that you can avoid that medication that you're talking about. You say you want to avoid the medication. It's the only way. If that's you, if you're ready to avoid that medication trap, then you should join that. If that's you, then you should join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Or we're talking real food, real structure, real results. You want to join that challenge, you use that discount code ESCAPE. $79 to join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge instead of $99. You're welcome. I'm always 156 to 162. Is that pre or diabetic? Well, it's well above the pre. Okay, anything above 126 is considered 125. Anything above 125 is considered type 2 diabetic. So 156 to 162, yeah. So your body is screaming for a reset. If yours at 156 to 162, that is your body screaming for a reset. And I think you should probably go ahead and listen to it. If your body's screaming for a reset, then the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge is calling your name. I'm ready for the challenge. If you're ready for the challenge, use that discount code ESCAPE. Because what are you going to escape? The bottomless pit of more and more and more medication. Okay? That's what you want to escape. You want to get out of it. It's called the matrix, the blood sugar matrix. Get out of the matrix, folks. Take the red pill, not the blue pill. Become Neo. Ava, if you watch the Matrix, Ava, I want you to become the Neo of your family. What does that mean? The one. How do I join? Here's how you join. Here's how you join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge right here. Let me go back to it. But if you click right here, and then you click on my picture again, let me show you how to get there. You got to click on my picture again, though. So click right here. Click on my picture again. Here it is, right here. Saying how. How do you do it? Right here. Click right here. See, it says link tree. You click it. There's all the goodies. There's the quiz. There's the free quiz. There's a master class. All goodies. But here's that 14-day challenge right here. Everything else is free. It's the only one I got to charge you for because it's real people getting real results. If you're ready for change, if that's you, you say, listen, I'm ready for serious. I'm ready to take control of my blood sugar. I'm ready to get out of that bottomless pit. I'm ready. This is it right here. What the people are saying, everything. But it's right here. Click on accept the challenge. It says $99 to join that challenge. But if you use that discount code ESCAPE, you're going to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge for $79. Live discount code ESCAPE. Join that challenge. But there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of freebies on there as well. There's a quiz, there's a masterclass, PDF. All you got to do is, on those, all you got to do is pay attention. All you got to pay is attention. That's it. Pay attention. That's all you got to pay. What's a good monitor you'd recommend for checking our numbers? Whichever one works for you, but the one that, I don't recommend the monitors, but the one, if you want a temporarily one, there's one that I can recommend you for temporary use, and that's called by Hello Lingo. Go to Hello. If you visit Hello Lingo, they've got a good one. It's disposable. As long as you got an iPhone, And you can see it for 2 weeks. They'll let you see it for 2 weeks. Hello lingo. That's a good one. What's up, TikTok Pam? Yeah, Q&A time, folks. It's your Q&A time. We got a couple more minutes of Q&A, or else we're gonna get up here on this board and we're gonna talk about this game of blood sugar Tetris. This game that we're playing of how we get out of this bottomless pit of more and more medication. We got to beat the game first, and it's a game of blood sugar Tetris, folks. Every time that you eat something, your blood sugar is gonna do something. Remember, I told you earlier, it's your body wants 1 teaspoon of sugar. That's all it wants to see. It's happy when it sees that. If it doesn't see that, if you've got too much blood sugar, guess what your body's going to release? Insulin. So your body, think of insulin, this hormone, think of it as a self-defense mechanism for your body. A self-defense mechanism for your body. It's playing defense. That's what insulin is doing. Playing defense against what? Too much blood sugar, the offense. Think of blood sugar as the offense and think of insulin as the defense. You watch football, you know what I'm talking about. So when you eat food, your body is going to release blood sugar. And the job of insulin is to take that blood sugar, catch it, and open up the cells so that the energy can go into the cell, into your muscles, into your cells. But it needs the right, it needs the right amount of energy. It needs the right amount of storage. Like you feel it to right to where it needs to be, and you don't feel it anymore. Fat. That's what fat is, folks. When we start getting fat, or as we say, when we start gaining a bunch of weight, all of that extra weight, you want to know what that is? Fat is stored energy from too much insulin. When your body has too much insulin, it tells your body to store fat. Store the energy as fat so that we can use it for later. But here's the thing. So when we gain weight, we get all the love handles and all that stuff. We call it love handles. But it don't have anything to do with love. Well, it does. I guess you could say it does have something to do with love. Because it's when your body uses that energy from the fat when you need it. When you're not eating, your body uses that energy from the fat. It's why it's called, another way of saying it, it's how you lose weight. Okay? How do you lose weight? Is you got to get the energy out of your fat cells and you got to use it. Or else it just stays stored away. So how do you do that? How do you lose the weight? Oh yeah. You reduce the insulin. You reduce the insulin. The offense dials it back a little bit. Remember I talked about that football game? The offense, they're dialing it back. Like the offense is sputtering. Like, oh, they can't run. They can't run. They can't produce anything. The offense is terrible. You got to dial back the offense. And then the insulin will start to come down. So when you dial back on the blood sugar, eating all of the junk foods that were, what's causing the high blood sugar? All of the junk foods that we're eating, the ultra processed foods, the whole Twinkies, the ding dongs, all of that stuff. Eating rice on an empty stomach. Fruit juice, sodas, all of that pizza. That's what's causing our blood sugar to be high, folks. It's predominantly what we are eating. It's causing our blood sugar to be high. You fix what you are eating, I promise you, your body will fix itself, because your body is a fantastic piece of machinery, folks. A fantastic piece of machinery. What do I consider effective sleep? 6 to 9 hours is effective sleep. 6 to 9 hours of effective sleep. What do I mean by effective sleep? I mean that when you wake up in the morning, you wake up without an alarm clock. If you can wake up, when you wake up without an alarm clock and you feel refreshed, that's called effective sleep. You wake up in the morning and you feel refreshed, that's called effective sleep. But if you wake up in the morning and you're still feeling like, well, I'm dragging out of bed. Every day I'm dragging out of bed, and yeah, that's not effective sleep. That's the difference. All right, folks, let's get up here to the board. Let's get to the board. We talked about a couple of things. I answered your questions. We talked about all things type 2 diabetes, how it's a reversible condition. It's a very reversible condition, folks, because we're playing a little game of blood sugar Tetris. You're like, well, what the hell is blood sugar Tetris, folks? Kelley, here's the thing. Every time we eat something, something's going to happen to our blood sugar. Something's going to happen to it. So let's do this. Let's find out what should we be eating? What should we be eating to stop all of these blood sugar spikes? Because Kelley said it's predominantly what I'm eating. And what the hell's clean eating? He's always talking about clean eating. It's the eating. It's what you're eating. So, well, what the hell is clean eating then, Kelley? If that's what you say, that can fix it. This is called the clean eating plate, folks. It's a big circle, so let me bring it back down. Let me make it a little smaller. Clean eating plate. Section this thing off. It's called the 50, 25, 25 rule. So check this out, folks. If you want to lose the weight, hold on, they paused me. If you want to lose the weight, if you want to get your blood sugar back the way you need it to be, under 100, we're going to have to master this plate right here. What plate is this? It's called the clean eating plate. We'll get into it here in a second. But we got a couple of questions. What are the questions? Good morning. Yeah, effective sleep. All right. I reversed type 2 diabetes and lost like 70 pounds, but recently I put on 20 pounds and have not changed. You have not changed? Well, if nothing changes, then nothing is going to change. You're absolutely right. But if you're looking for that change, if you say, yeah, I am ready for change. If that's you, if you're ready for change, then you should, if that's you, then you should probably join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Use that discount code ESCAPE. Yeah, so you have not changed your eating habits. If you have not changed your eating habits, then the chances of you losing the weight are slim to none. Because it is what you're eating that's causing it, causing the weight gain. It's predominantly, it's not all of that, but it's predominantly that, causing the high blood sugar, especially what you're eating. If you're ready to clean all that up, escape that bottomless pit of going on that blood sugar roller coaster, the highs, the weights, you lose the weight, gain the weight, lose the weight, gain the weight. Step number 1, join that 14-day challenge. But anyhow, back to it, folks. This 50, 25, 25 plate, what is it? Here it is. Fill your plate. Instead of doing all that calorie counting and weighing all your food, fill your plate with 50% non-starchy veggies. So what are non-starchy veggies? Things like broccoli, cauliflower, cucumber, kale, spinach, arugula. These are non-starchy veggies. Cauliflower, mushrooms. You can make yourself a beautiful stir fry right over here. These are called non-starchy veggies, folks. You fill your plate with 50% of that. You don't got to worry about doing like calorie counting. Check all this out. Check this out now. Now, we're going to flip it up. We're going to talk proteins and fats. Well, what kind of protein, Kelly? Well, whatever kind of protein you prefer. Because like I said, I don't get into it with folks anymore about whatever their protein choice is. Like, you eat what you prefer. You eat what you prefer. So whether it be chicken, turkey, tofu, tempeh, steak, eggs, fish, these are leaner sources of protein. Not things like sausages and bacon and salami and all of that stuff. Not any of that. No. Those are called group 1 carcinogens. And you do not want to eat, folks. You do not want to eat a group 1 carcinogen. You don't want to eat group 1 carcinogen. What's a group 1 carcinogen? Well, it means that they have been known to cause cancer. That is what a group 1 carcinogen is. This is the category.
Low battery.
Well, what the heck? What do you mean? Well, what kind of things are group 1 carcinogens? Things like deli meats, bacon, sausages, salami, all the turkey slices, all of that stuff over there. Turkey sausage included. All of that. Turkey. Yeah. What else? Pepperonis, hot dogs. Ooh, that's a good one. Hot dogs. That's a good one. Yeah. Those are group 1 carcinogens, processed meats. So don't eat processed meats, folks. Stay away from those as much as you possibly can. Okay. And then boudin. For my Louisiana folks. I know we got some Louisiana folks on here. But boudin, folks, is not, and I repeat, boudin is not clean eating. It's good. Yeah, it tastes good. I get it. Jambalaya. It tastes good. But here's the thing. That is not clean eating. Crawfish, folks, for my Louisiana folks, is not clean eating. We call them mud bugs for a reason. Okay? So that's protein. Leaner sources of protein. Chicken, turkey, tofu, tempeh, steak, eggs, fish. These are leaner sources of protein. Okay. Fats. Fats are like healthy fats. Avocados, nuts and seeds. Pistachios, almonds, pecans, chia seeds. There's folks asking about Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt is going to not be that's dairy, so dairy is going to go in the crap category, folks. Dairy, I'm highly against dairy. Right? I don't recommend it. But if you do it, you prefer it, okay, great. But dairy is not good for you, folks. Contrary to popular belief, cottage cheese is There's a lot of things that people tell me that they're not going to give up when it comes to their getting their A1C to a 5.3 or getting off the medication and getting off the bottomless pit. They don't care how bad their health is. But just 2 things that they ain't going to give up. They ain't going to give up their bacon and cheese. So 2 things, and they say I don't care how bad my health is, Kelley. I don't care how bad my blood sugar is, whatever. I ain't giving up bacon. I ain't giving up cheese. So milk and dairy is not a healthy fat, folks. Like I said earlier, the healthy ones are avocados, nuts, and seeds. The only 3 approved oils: avocado, coconut, olive. If it ain't avocado, if it ain't coconut, if it ain't olive, man, throw it out. Okay? Those are the 3 oils. All right. Last category. Next category is the carbs. Any questions on that? Let's see if we got any questions on that. All right. Greek yogurt. Yep. No Greek yogurt. So we got carbs. And then over here with the carbs, we're going to have fruta. We're going to have fruit over here as well. You're like, oh, okay, well, what's up with the carbs and the fruit and why you got a down arrow and all of that stuff? Because here's the thing. When it comes to carbs, you can pretty much have whatever kind of carbohydrates you want. Like, what kind of carbohydrates we want? We're talking about things like rice, pasta, potatoes, whatever kind of potatoes, sweet potatoes, purple potatoes, quinoa, farro, things like that. Those are whole grains or carbohydrates, whole grains, and then all the carbohydrates, right? Fruit, you can have whatever kind of fruit that you want, but here's the thing: you got to be very, very careful with these. This is why I got an asterisk over here. I got an asterisk over here, or a star, because you got to be careful with this area. So you can eat fruit, but the thing is, well, what kind of fruit can I eat? You can eat pretty much whatever kind of fruit you want, as long as you're obeying this rule right here. You see this rule? That's called the, you can go down, but you can't go up. Very specific rule. Think of fruit like this. Think of fruit as a dessert. When you think of fruit, you think of dessert. Okay? That's what I want you to do. When you think of fruit, you think of dessert. So anytime you would have a dessert, you would think of fruit. So if you wake up in the morning and be like, yo, would I have some dessert first thing in the morning? Would I have some banana pudding first thing in the morning? Nah, you wouldn't have banana pudding first thing in the morning. You wouldn't have some sweet potato pie first thing in the morning, unless it's Thanksgiving. Like Thanksgiving is right around the corner. You probably have some sweet potato pie, wouldn't you? You probably have some sweet potato pie during Thanksgiving, but you wouldn't do that otherwise throughout the year. You ain't. So think of fruit the same way. So if you're about to eat some fruit in the morning on an empty stomach, you think to yourself, just think, would I eat this? Would I eat this? Would I eat this dessert? Would I eat sweet potato pie? I mean, would I eat a sweet potato pie, an apple pie first thing in the morning? Because here's what fruit is. Fruit is, it really is. It's nature's dessert. That's what fruit is. Nature's dessert. Yummy. And if it's nature's dessert, when do you eat dessert? You eat dessert last, don't you? And it's the same thing with this food. You eat the dessert last. That's how you think of fruit. So what kind of fruit? Preferably lower glycemic index fruits. Blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, raspberries, kiwis, peaches, right? That kind of stuff. So sweet and eat potato alone is not good. That is correct. You do not eat section 3 alone. That is you're very astute. You do not eat section 3 alone. Anything in section 3, I'm gonna label these sections. 1, 2, 3. That's the rule. Do not eat alone. I'm gonna put that over here. The little star stands for do not eat alone. That's what the asterisk means. Do not eat it alone. Meaning, do not eat it on an empty stomach. Don't do it. Because it's going to cause a big blood sugar spike. You eat this section alone, like I eat for breakfast. You eat some Ho-Ho Twinkies or some Ding Dongs or some you eat a big donut for breakfast, or you eat pancakes, or you eat Lego Mayengo waffles for breakfast, or you just eat a big bowl of fruit. Remember I said it's nature's candy. If you eat a big bowl of fruit by itself in the morning time, your blood sugar is going to go sky high. It's going to go sky high, folks. So never eat that section alone. Always make sure you got sections 1 and 2. Either of these sections, 1 or 2, in the stomach first before you jump into these carbs. Right? Before you jump into section 3. Ooh. Let's see, a couple questions. Oh, good mornings. 3 days of using the clean eating plate, and I feel so much better. Shout out to you, Faith Active Energy. Three days in, and she's feeling great. Just applying this rule right here, this clean eating plate. So eating sweet potatoes alone, yep, not good. You're right. They're good, but not by themselves. Good morning. So you can't eat fruits in the morning. You cannot. No fruits in the morning. You do not eat dessert for breakfast. That's a no-no. Your mom wouldn't let you do that, would she? Your mom, when you were growing up, she wouldn't let you eat dessert for breakfast. Even though if we eat cereal, it's just like eating dessert for breakfast. You eat some Fruit Loops, that's just like eating some dessert for breakfast. That's all you're doing. You know what I'm saying? That's what eating some Fruit Loops is like. Let's see. How do you feel about fasting? I feel great about it. How do you feel about it is the question. I feel that fasting should be used as a tool. That's what I feel fasting should be used as. What kind of tool? Well, it's great once you get what if you master this clean eating plate. You master this clean eating plate first, right? Then you start fasting. Start off with a 12-hour fast. Master the plate first, and then start off with a 12-hour fast. What does that mean? Overnight. If your last meal was at 7 p.m., make your next meal 7 a.m. Then you do that for a week. And then the next week, you go up to 13 hours. Or maybe 14 hours, 13, 14 hours. You push it a little more the following week. The fasting times. And then the next week, you push it up just a little bit more, maybe another hour. You push it up. So over the span of weeks, you're training your cells to be able to fast. Like me this morning, like I haven't eaten this morning. I'm fasting right now, and I feel great. You want to know why? It's because I'm using all of that fat, stored energy. That's what fat is, stored energy. It's when you tap into your fat when you're fasting. But here's the thing, though. That's how it's supposed to work. But here's the thing. If you're insulin resistant, it doesn't work that way. When it comes to fasting, your body doesn't tap into the fat right away. It struggles. It struggles. And that's why you ever notice that if you never fasted before, you haven't fasted in a while, and you try to fast, you're like, why can't I go? Why am I always hungry? I just ate 3 hours ago. I just ate 2 hours ago. Why am I hungry? Why do I have sugar cravings? Why am I sleepy? Who's ever wondered that? You ever wonder why you have sugar cravings? You ever wonder why you're sleepy? You ever wonder why you get tired? Who's ever wondered that? Put a me in the chat if you've ever wondered why you're always tired, why you're always sleepy, why you always got sugar cravings, and why you always hungry. Yeah, put a me in the chat. We got a lot of me's. You want to know why? You're always tired. You're always hungry. Yep, tired and hungry at night, especially at night. Yeah. Here's the thing. I'm going to let you on a little secret. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. It's because your body, it's because you're not metabolically flexible. If you're suffering from insulin resistance, it means you're not metabolically flexible. So what is metabolically flexible? It means you cannot switch between burning fat for energy and burning fuel for energy. Burning fat for energy and burning food for energy. So fasting, train your body to fast. You do great. So what's a good breakfast? Sections 1 and 2. A non-starchy veggie, broccoli. Section 2, protein, chicken, a fat, avocado. That's what you eat for breakfast. It's called a savory breakfast. You don't eat a sweet breakfast. It can be something like, steak and eggs and with some bell peppers. That's what you prefer. It can be fish and asparagus. You know what I mean? With a side of nuts and seeds on the side, or a side of pecans. That's what you can eat for breakfast. It's called the savory breakfast. You start your day off like that. If you're suffering from insulin resistance, you start your day off like that. Smooth sailing. Versus if you start your day off with a Pop-Tart, or if you start your day off with a donut, you stop by Shipley's on the way to work. You stop by Tim Hortons on the way to work for my Canadians. Stop by McDowell's. For my 80s folks, you stop by McDowell's. You do that in the morning time, that's going to send your blood sugar sky high. You eat that, you go to McDonald's and you get that hotcakes with sausage. It's going to send your blood sugar so high that you couldn't even possibly imagine. It's going to send it up into orbit. Like there's a bird, there's a plane. No, actually, it's my blood sugar. Because that's how high it's going to go. If you start your day off with a savory breakfast, if you start your day off with a toast and jelly, you wash it down with an orange juice. If that's your breakfast, then what you are doing, that's called a sweet breakfast. What you're doing is you're putting yourself on a blood sugar roller coaster. You're just going to go high, you're going to shoot up like a rocket, and then it's going to come crashing down. Remember what I talked about crashing down? Why you're always tired? Well, when it goes up, what goes up? What? You know the saying, well, what goes up? How's the rest of it go, folks? What goes up? Give it to me. What goes up? You know the saying. What goes up? What? Must. Y'all know the saying. Come on, give it to me, folks. There it is. What goes up must come down. You guys know it. Y'all know physics. Y'all know physics. So if you eat a if you eat a sweet breakfast and it goes sky high, what goes up? Whew, it must, and I mean must, come down. And when it comes down, whoo, it comes down just as quickly as it went up. That's called a spike when it goes up. And then what must come down, that's called a crash. And when it crashes, your blood sugar's crashing. Oh, you'll know. That's when you get tired. because your blood sugar is crashing, so you're crashing. It's when you get hungry. You get hungry. Why do you get hungry when your blood sugar is crashing? Well, it's because insulin has to come out. When blood sugar goes high, insulin follows. And insulin tells your body to store away the sugar that you just ate, store it away. Because we don't need it right now. Store it away. So as a result, oh yeah, we need more energy. Give us more energy because we just put that energy that you just gave us from the food that you just ate, we already put that away. So we need more because we don't have any energy right now. That's what you're telling your body to do. So this is it, folks. This is called lifestyle medicine. That's why your body is always, we're talking about, you got to fix it with lifestyle medicine. What you are eating in the morning. Would carnivore fix blood sugar issues? I don't recommend carnivore. Yeah, it would. But I don't recommend carnivore diet, folks, because it's not sustainable for most folks. If that's sustainable for you to eat like a werewolf. You know what I mean? There is such thing as a werewolf diet too. We can call it the werewolf diet, the carnivore diet, because all they eat is flesh. A werewolf only eats flesh. So, one thing human beings are werewolves. So that's what I would recommend, folks. I wouldn't recommend the carnivore diet. I recommend this clean eating plate right here. This is what I recommend. I recommend obeying this rule, right? This 25% rule. You see that 25%? 25%. You can go down on the carbs, but you can't go up. Check it out. You can make your life so easy, folks. Well, in other words, we are storing trouble. What do you mean storing trouble? We are stored in trouble. Here we go, folks. Here's one of these plates. Look, the 50, 25, 25 plate. This plate, I'm telling you, is going to change the game for you. It's going to be a game changer right here. This 50, 25, 25 plate right here. Get yourself one of those. It'll change the game for you. All right. You can get them from anywhere. But if you hang out with me, I got them too. I got those too. But this is the 50, 25, 25 plate. And the last thing, folks, the last thing on this plate, I'm going to show you the last thing on this plate is this. There's more to this plate, but this is the base. But the last category, folks, is beans. Beans are the great equalizer. Beans are, like I said, they're a resistant starch. So resistant starch, you can pretty much have these things with everything. You can have them with the veggies. You can have them with the proteins and the fats. Because, yes, they are starch, but they are what's called a resistant starch. That's what they are, a resistant starch. How you doing, folks? For those just joining us, my name is Kelley, your certified holistic nutritionist, coming to you straight from the airways of Houston, Texas. Talk about all things insulin resistance, high blood sugar, type 2 diabetes. If that's you, if you're struggling with this condition, if that's you, you say, yeah, I'm struggling with this condition. I'm on this bottomless pit of more and more and more medication. That's me. That's me. If that's you and you're ready to escape that bottomless pit, that's you. Then you should join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Where, if you need help with this, if you need help with all this clean eating stuff, like it's a lot of clean eating stuff, it's great, but I don't know, clean eating. Can you help me? Yeah, I can help you. There's a lot of things I can help you with. There's a lot of stuff that's on my page. There are a lot of people come in and they say, help, Kelley. I'm like, well, okay, what kind of help do you need? Because there's a lot of help. It could be like knowledge. You want knowledge? So we got the quiz, we got the master class. That's going to give you a bunch of knowledge. But if you got into the point where you say, no, I need help, showing me like how to get off of the medication. Somebody said, I don't like medicine. I don't like how to I need to get off the medication. I don't like it. They're threatening to put me on it. No. If that's you, if you got to the point where you like, no, or I'm done with the medication, Then, if that's you, you're going to have to prescribe yourself a new medication. And it's called the food. Because the food is the medicine, Crystal. And the medicine is the food. You let your doctors get mad. The doctors can get mad. So what? This is your life. It's your life. I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you not to take your medication. Can't tell people not to take their medication. I don't have the authority to tell you not to take your medication or prescribe you or unsprescribe you your medication. I don't have the unmitigated gall to do that. I don't have the audacity to take you off your medication or prescribe you medication. But I can tell you that it's the food that you're eating. We can prescribe you some lifestyle medicine, but only you can prescribe that to yourself. Clean eating. It's a lot of things that could be hurting your health. It's a lot of things that could be causing you to have high blood sugars, but it's predominantly what you're eating, man. That's it. That's it. You need help with this. And if you're ready for change, if you got to the point where change isn't just desired, where it's downright necessary, if that's you, then you should join that 14-day challenge. Use that discount code ESCAPE, the live discount code ESCAPE. You join the challenge for, it's normally $99 to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. But if you use the live discount code ESCAPE, you're joining the challenge for $79 to join that 14-day challenge. Yeah, Crystal, if that's you. If that's you, you say that's me. And you say, I've been looking for a way out. And if you can feel your body begging for a reset, then you should listen to it. Because the 14-day challenge is calling your name, Crystal. Y-E, if that's you, it's also calling your name. Okay, the blood sugar, it's like, Crystal, that's why it's calling your name. There's a lot of people, over 300 people who have, it called their name too, and they answered. And now, some of these people have gotten taken off of their medication in as little as 14 days. Someone's fasting blood sugar dropped over 300 points in 8 days. All by changing what you are eating. Because the food is the medicine. And the medicine is the food. That's it. That's where it starts. Because if you don't fix the diet and lifestyle first, you can take all the medication that you want. You can take medication until you're blue in the face, until your face turns blue. If you're on that diabetes treadmill and you just running on that treadmill. And you can't figure out how to get off the treadmill of just the marathon of just more and more medications. You can't figure out how to get off. You can't figure out how to get off, then that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge is going to be your way out. Use that discount code ESCAPE. Join that challenge. $79. Let's see. That's me. All right. What about tomatoes? Tomatoes are going to go. You put tomatoes over here, the non-starchy veggies. You put those over there. Or you can put them in the fruit category. Either one. But I like to put them in the non-starchy veggie category. So either one, right? You know, tomatoes are technically a fruit. Right? Just like an avocado is technically a fruit. But you can put the tomatoes there, man. Roll with your tomatoes. I was diagnosed 3 years ago with Crohn's disease. I'm fixing to go through another procedure. Wow, yeah, Crohn's disease is a tough one. Okay. Can we eat Greek yogurt? No. Would not recommend Greek yogurt. That's going to go in the crack category. Dairy is going to go in, all dairy is going to go into the crack category. Right? Human beings are not designed to have dairy. because you're a human and that's a cow. And it's a milk hierarchy that nature never meant and never intended to be crossed. Nature said you're not supposed to cross that line when it comes to the dairy because you're a human being. You're not a cow. So that's why dairy causes inflammation. That's why dairy causes all this mucus. You ever want to just really feel better? You ever just like, check this out. You ever just really want to feel better? Try no dairy for a week. Just do no dairy for a week and watch what happens. Watch what happens. Because that is how much mucus builds up whenever you ever notice when you eat some pizza or you eat some pizza, maybe like 30, 45 minutes later or something, you just start feeling all congested. You're like, oh, that's because all that mucus is building up from all of that dairy. But dairy is not meant for human beings, folks. Can we eat white basmati rice? You can, again, but as long as you're obeying the rule. Remember the 25% rule. You can go down on the carbs, but you can't go up. 25%. Well, what's 25%? Right here. 25% right here. That's it. You see that 25% right there? That's 25%. You don't go any more than that 25%. Or right here. You don't go any more than that 25% when it comes to that. When it comes to that basmati rice. I feel limited in the carb area. You say you're doing this plate, right? Yeah, I know you feel limited, okay? Until your body adjusts to it. You say you've been doing it for 3 days. Your body's still taking some adjusting. Yeah, you got to limit the carbs because that's where it's happening. That's the major contributor. That's the major contributor to your blood sugar being out of whack is too much carbohydrates. It's a major contributor. Yes, because cheese has cow pus. Well, cheese has a lot of stuff in it. Cheese is not great, folks. Dairy is not great for you. At what time can you eat carbs? Not in the morning. You can do them in the evening. You can do them in the afternoon and in the evening, right? But never in the morning. But again, as long as you're obeying this 25% rule, remember, you can go down on the carbs, but you can't go up. You can change the percentages on the veggies. Say like you want more veggies. You can change the percentages on that. Or if you want more protein, you can more protein, dial back on the veggies. You can play around with sections 1 and 2. And the beans, you can play around with the beans too. But what you cannot do is you cannot adjust section number 3, aka go up. You can go down. That's why we got the down arrow. Do not, and then do not eat them alone. But the down arrow, eat fruit as a dessert. Eat the carbs as a dessert. The more you do this, day after day, the more your cells will start to acclimate. The more you do it, the more your cells will adjust to what you're doing. And then those cravings will start to go away. When folks join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, you know when the cravings start to go away? On average, the cravings start to go away at about day 5, between day 5 and day 7. For my folks who join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, that's what they report back to me. About day 5, day 7, that like the cravings are gone. I don't even crave any of that stuff anymore. I don't even crave it like that. It's because your body made that adjustment. Which carbs are best to have with a meal? We're doing the order. Somebody asked about order earlier. Can you do this order? This order, sections 1, sections 2 first. So this is the order you eat your food. Non-starchy, your veggies first, non-starchy veggies first, and then your proteins and your fats. And then your proteins and your fats. And then you have your carbs last. As long as you have your carbs last, it's about the food ordering, right? It goes around and around and around. Around. Goes around. And back around. All right. It just goes around and around in a circle. So section 1, section 2, that's the order you eat. And then you eat section 3. Always eat section 3 with some other kind of clothing in it. So that's when you eat your carbs last. Okay? But which carbs are best? The whole unprocessed carbs. So it can be whatever carb you want, whether it's rice, whether it's pasta, mixtures like chickpea pasta or lentil pasta, whether it's quinoa, farro, potato. As long as you're doing it in this order, have whatever kind you want. As long as you ain't eating whole Twinkies and Ding Dongs and McDonald's and Little Debbie snack cakes. What about vegan cheese? Same thing. It's still that's ultra. I'll have some vegan cheese every once in a while, but at the end of the day, it's not a health food. It's not a health food. Okay? It's very low on the healthy scale. But can you have some every once in a while? Yeah, you can have some every once in a while, like 10% of the time, very small percentage of the time. But just know that vegan cheese is not a health food. It's called vegan junk food. Because it's got vegan on it doesn't mean it's healthy. There's such thing as vegan junk food. Okay? But I would much prefer you rather do vegan cheese than cheese from a cow. Dairy. Can you have porridge in the morning? You cannot. That's breaking the rule. Number 3 over here. You cannot. Okay. What fruits are good for diabetics? Lower glycemic index fruits. Berries. I don't know why it took me a while to think of that, but berries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, strawberries. Those are best for someone who is suffering from insulin resistance, for diabetes, folks. Like plantain porridge, no. Plantain porridge and oats and banana in the morning is going to send your blood sugar, like I told you earlier. Remember the saying I said earlier. This is going to send your blood sugar high in the morning. It goes up. And what goes up? You know how it goes, right? What goes up must come down. And as quickly as it goes up, whenever you eat plantain porridge with oatmeal, with oats and a banana, without putting any other clothing on over the top of it, a protein, i.e. a protein or fat and a fiber first, what's going to happen is your blood sugar is going to go so high that you couldn't even possibly imagine. That's what's going to happen. Oh, so you don't mix it all up. You can, but you can. It just helps, right? It's not saying that you can't just go eat your food, right? Because what about a single dish food? You know what I mean? You got like the one pot dish and all that stuff. Like, it's not necessarily the order helps. It helps tremendous. It helps. It's a tool that you can use. Do you have to eat it in that order? No, you don't have to eat it in that order, but it helps. You know what I mean? It's not a requirement to do that, but it helps. And if you're suffering from insulin resistance and high blood sugar, every little bit helps. Quite welcome. What about green apples? Great. Lower on the glycemic index scale than red apples. Great. Those are great. So let me sit it down, folks. But that's it. That's the clean eating plate, folks. Let me sit back down. Because we just finished off the clean eating plate. Any questions y'all got more on the clean eating plate? Let me know. But that's it, folks. If you need help with that, if you say, listen, man, I need help with this clean eating thing, I don't know where to start, man. I've been battling this thing for many years, maybe 5 years, 15 years, 6 years. I don't know how long it's been. 10 years and 19 years. My sugars have always been high. And I've always been insulin resistant no matter what I do. If that's you, if you just been on since all these years, you just it's just a bottomless pit, and all you get when you go to the doctor is just prescribe more and more medication. If you're experiencing that, that's you. Then the 14-day challenge is calling your name. What is it? It is a 14-day blueprint, a nutrition blueprint. What are we eating? Real food. That's like that stuff we talked about up there. I'm going to teach you the order in which to eat the food. If you're suffering from high blood sugar, you got to eat this food in a certain order. Or this order counts. At that point, somebody asked about, is the order important? When it comes to reversing type 2 diabetes, the order is very important. It's very important. Still eat the foods that you love. You just got to eat them a certain way. You hang out with me for 14 days. I'm going to show you how to eat this food in a certain order. You got to do it. You got to train your body. That's what it's called, the reset. Basically, think of the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge is a boot camp for training. Training your blood sugar. Training your blood sugar to do what? Well, you're training your blood sugar to go back to baseline. You're training your blood sugar to go back to baseline. And you don't do that. You do it in a certain way. And it all starts with the food that you're eating. If that's you, somebody said, I need help with clean eating, I don't know where to start. That's me. I need your help crying. If you need help, you say, that's you. I need help. That's me. I've been battling this thing, man. If your doctor has been giving you all the warning signs, but no real roadmap, then the 14-day challenge is that map. 14-day challenge is that map, folks. Real people, real results, real structure. If you want to join that challenge, it's linked in my bio. It's more about it in my bio. Then I'm going to get to your questions. I'm going to show you where it is. And then I'm going to get back to your questions. But here it is right here, folks. Where's the challenge? So you click right here, and then you click on my picture again. So click right here, and then click on my picture again. It is going to take you, folks, to my page. Where's my page? Here's my page. Let me show you what my page is right here. Here it is. You see that link right there that says Linktree, because we're getting ready to get out of here. We ain't going to be on live for longer. We're going to be on about 10 more minutes today. Just short of live. But here it is. Here's all the goodies right here. The quiz. There's a quiz. There's a master class. That's all free stuff. Those are all the freebies. There's a PDF. That's another freebie. But here it is right here. The 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. If you're one of those people, like I said earlier, if that's you, if you're tired of that bottomless pit of more and more medications, if that's you, if you said that's me, yeah, that's me. If you're self-identifying with that, then you should join this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. If you are ready to take control of your blood sugar, if you self-identify with ready to take control of your blood sugar because it's time, if that's you, then you should join this challenge. It's $99 to join this challenge. $99 to join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Here's all the stuff that you get, all the goodies, what you get. But if you use the live discount code ESCAPE, ESCAPE is the live discount code to join the challenge for $79 to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. 20% off. $79 and your whole life is going to change, okay? Because you got to show up and do the work and do it again tomorrow. It will change if you show up and you do the work for 14 days. You get outside of your comfort zone for 14 days. On day 15, I guarantee you're going to be like, what the heck has been going on for the last 5-10 years? The whole time you're telling me it was the food? Is that what you've been telling? Is that what you're telling me, Kelley? This whole time, when that light bulb comes on, you're going to be like, this whole time, you telling me that it's been the food, man? Come on. That's when you'll realize, and that light bulb comes on. Ding! You could have taken all the medication all over. You could have been taking bottles and stacks and stacks and stacks of bottles for many. You took all the medication from across the globe. Thank you, Trina. You took all the medication from across the globe. You search high and you search low and you search everywhere for all these different types of medications. But at the end of the day, the only thing that has changed is your prescription. You didn't find the solution. Because it ain't there. It ain't there, folks. It ain't in the bottom. The solution to type 2 diabetes is not at the bottom of a pill bottle. It ain't. How do I know? Because I told you I was diabetes, heart disease, obesity. It's not there. It's here. And it's right in front of you. It's been there the entire time. It's been there the entire time. And you want to know what that is? It is called your diet and your lifestyle. Your lifestyle. Because type 2 diabetes is a dietary and lifestyle driven condition. Well, what do you mean lifestyle? Be more specific, Kelley. Okay. In these specific areas, stress management, activity levels or lack thereof, eating, especially eating. There's a lot of things that could cause you to have high blood sugar and poor health. But it's predominantly what you're eating. That's C, the clean eating we talked about. And then lastly, the sleep, effective sleep. You combine all those areas together, those 4 areas right there together. Those are the basics. Those are the fundamentals. These are the fundamentals of great health. Because if you don't have the fundamentals right, man, your game is going to be trash. You play basketball and you don't have fundamentals, your game is going to be trash. So you got to master the fundamentals. And it goes the same in your health. If you don't master the fundamentals, maintaining your pace, just like somebody said, maintain your pace, your health is going to be trash. You're going to try to cover it up with more and more medications until the bottomless pit. You just can't reach the bottom. You're like trying to get to the bottom of the pill bottle, but you can't get there. Because you can never get to the end of a bottomless pit. But you can change your lifestyle and get the hell up out of there. You can't do that. And where do you do that? Check this out. Last thing. If the medication maze just keeps leading you to dead ends, then smash through the walls and find the real exit. Okay? I'm going to say that one more time and I'm going to show you where the challenge is. If the medication maze just keeps leading you to dead ends, then smash through the damn wall and find the real exit. What's the real exit? I told you it's been staring at you right there in your face. And it's called your lifestyle. You change that, you'll bust through that damn wall. But until you change that, you're just going to be stuck inside of the maze. Like, you want to get out of that maze, here it is. Here's where it is. You click right here. I'm going to show you where it is. You click right here. You click on my picture again. And where are you going to come to? When you come here, click on my picture again. There it is right there. You see that? It says Linktree. Click on that link that says Linktree. There it is. I'm pointing you in the right direction. So that's why I'm doing that. You see, I'm pointing you right there. There it is. Okay. Yeah. Here's the challenge right here. 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. There it is right there. 14-day blueprint, like we've been talking about. Getting out of that damn maze. Click right here, $99, join that 14-day challenge. Use that discount code, ESCAPE. You're escaping the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. ESCAPE is the discount code. What's up, Lady Rose? ESCAPE is the discount code to join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge for $79. Like Lady Rose did the other day. Shout out to you, Lady Rose. Have you started your challenge yet, Lady Rose? I know you accepted the challenge just the other day. Yeah, how do you join? You join by clicking that link right here and then click on my picture again. That link is in my description. Can you please let me know why when I drink water, my stomach is always bloating? That's a good one, right? What? How much water are you drinking? You're drinking a lot of water, you know what I mean? What's your diet look like? What's your gut microbiome look like? That's what I want to know. I'm on metformin and Jardiance, and I don't want to take it anymore. Ava, if you got to the point where you don't want to take it anymore, it's a bottomless, I'm telling you. You can be like, hey, you can scream down that pit, hey, anybody down there, and you'll just hear an echo. Nobody's going to answer. It's a bottomless pit. Do you recommend green tea, ginger? Now, if you want to get out of that bottomless pit, like I tell you, you should probably join that challenge. Use that discount code ESCAPE. Do you recommend green tea, ginger, turmeric? Yeah. With honey? No, not the honey, though. You had me at green tea. You had me at ginger, turmeric. But then honey, you lost me on that one. You lost your boy. My new mantra, maintain your pace. That's it. Faith. Have a peaceful mind, have an active body, clean, eat, effective sleep. You master the fundamentals of maintaining your pace. This is what I ask all of my clients when I see them. When we have our weekly coaching calls in the community, I ask them, how are you maintaining your pace? Do you need to pick up the pace? A lot of people, somebody say, yeah, I think I might need to pick up the pace. You got to pick it up. Sometimes when you lose a bunch of weight, like a lot of people who have lost a bunch of weight over the years working with me, they run into a plateau. And when you run into a plateau, you just got to pick up the pace even more. Okay, how do I join? I'm ready. No shout out to you. Coupon code. Okay, you are asking for the code. Ava, shout out to you. Beans are the best. Thank you so much. Yeah, coach. Yeah, you're quite welcome. Lady Rose. Beans, I'm telling you, they're going to be your best friend. Your best friend. And shout out to you for joining that challenge. Shout out to you for joining the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Ava, probably sure that was you, Ava. But Ava, if that's you, your life is never going to be the same. Your blood sugar ain't going to be the same. Shout out to you for taking a chance on your health, on yourself. Just register for the master class. I'm excited. Yeah, that master class. Sit in on that class. I break down the lifestyle medicine formula. Again, having a peaceful mind, active body, clean eating, effective sleep. It's the freedom formula. It is what you are going to use to free yourself from the clutches of type 2 diabetes. That's why it's called the freedom formula. New here, anything wrong with 50 protein and 25% veggies, carbs, still eat full? No. That's perfectly fine. 50% protein, you can change your plate however you want. Let me see. You can change your plate however you want. So if you want to flip your plate and go 50% protein, because you're in the gym trying to get swole, okay. Protein goes here, 50%. You can put your veggies over here, 25%. And then your carbs, remember, still go down there, 25%. Boom. You just changed the whole game, and you're still staying within the plate. You see how that plate is, man. You take that plate with you everywhere. You can play around with the percentages, like I said, but you cannot. That's why you got the down arrow right here on the carbs. You can play around with those other percentages, but you cannot go up on the carbs. You can only go down. You can cap out at 25%. And what's 20? You're like, well, what's 25%? Oh, yeah. Right here. See you later, Lady Rose. All right. I'm ready. All right. I thought that was you, lady. I thought that was you, Ava, that joined the challenge. It was somebody else that joined the challenge. Shout out to them then. Shout out to them for joining that challenge. If you show up, you do the work, you do it again the next day, you will get yourself off of that blood sugar roller coaster. When we were getting ready to get out of here, we said we were only going to be on here a couple of hours today. It was a short live today. We're normally on for like 3.5 hours sometimes, you know what I mean? But today, a little shorter day. Catch up on a couple of things, but we'll be back though. We'll be back. But in the meantime, if you're ready to join that challenge, if you say that's me, now is probably the time to join, because we're getting ready to get up out of here. You want to use that discount code ESCAPE. And you say, well, what am I escaping again? I told you what you're escaping. You're going to be escaping that maze. Just keep on leading you to dead ends. That's what you're going to be escaping. The bottomless pit. More and more medications. That maze, the medication maze. If you want to escape that medication maze, if that's you, you're sick and tired about being sick and tired. If you say that's me, yeah, that's me. I'm sick and tired, Kelley, about sick and tired. Well, here's about being sick and tired. But here's the thing. You might say that you're sick and tired about being sick and tired. But there's two teams. Here it is. Either we can complain about it or we can get better. These are the only two options, folks. Either we can complain about our condition, we can complain about my blood sugar and having to take all these, the Jardians and all kinds of stuff, metformins. We can complain about it. Or we can get better. And the only two choices. You got to figure out which team are you on. Are you on the complain train or you on team get better? Which team are you on, folks? Do me a favor. Put it in the chat. Are you going to be on the complain train or are you going to be on team get better? Which team are you on, folks? Throw it in the chat. Complain train, get better. Which team are you on? Throw it in the chat. We're going to leave y'all with that. In the meantime, when you find out which team you're on, if you're on that team get better, if you're on that get better team, let's see. All right, let's see what team are y'all on? Are you on the complain train to get better? Because we can complain about it until the cows come home. But they ain't gonna do jack. You're really not. You think about it. You ever heard that saying when people say, "Hey man, how you doing?" Somebody say, "Oh, I'm good," or somebody says, "Oh, I can't complain." Somebody says, "I can't complain." Yeah. I say, yeah. If you did complain, nobody would listen. You can complain about it, ain't nobody gonna listen. So your only alternative, if nobody's going to listen, is just to simply get better. That's it. That's it. If you're ready to get better, join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. If you're ready for your blood sugar to get better, if that's you, you say, I am ready to get off of the complaint train, and I am ready to get my blood sugar better. If that's you, then you should join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Use that discount code ESCAPE. Where is it? Show you where it is. And then we're going to get up out of here. Here it is right here, folks. You click right up here, and then you click on my picture again. You click there, and you click on my picture again. So you click right here, and then you click on my smiling face again. And you're going to be right here. You see that link that says Linktree? Click on that link that says Linktree right there. For my other socials, it's going to be the same thing, right? You click on that link. There's a link right in there. See that link? Got all the goodies on that link right in my description. But here it is. There's a lot of freebies on there, folks. There's a quiz, free quiz. Take the quiz. It is a 2-minute quiz that you can take to understand and learn your diabetes management style. You got the masterclass right here. There's that masterclass, maintaining your pace. Somebody just said they registered for the masterclass. Watch the masterclass. And then finally, the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. This one is the one that I was telling you about. The one for folks who are serious about change. You ready to get out of that bottomless pit. You ready to escape it. Escape the medication maze. 14-day challenge is calling your name. It is a nutrition blueprint. How do I know about it? It's because I did it myself. I created it. Look at you see that was before. That was my before and after. That was called diabetes, heart disease, and obesity. That's what that's called. I'm gonna show you one more time. Diabetes, heart disease, and obesity. That's it right there. No more diabetic, no more heart disease, no more obesity. Why? Is it because I changed? I changed what I was eating. And as a result, no more diabetes, no more heart disease, no more obesity. Are you going to get rid of type 2 diabetes in 14 days? No, you ain't going to get rid of diabetes in 14 days. You'd put me in the wacko house if you tell me. You'd put me in Arkham Asylum. That's where the Joker goes that's the prison on Batman, Arkham Asylum. Or it's the crazy house. They put me there. If I said that you can get rid of type 2 diabetes in 2 weeks. Because I know that that's not possible. Because it takes at least 3 to 4 months. 4 months altogether. At least. But in 14 days, you can do some major damage. But in a good way. You can put a huge, when I say damage, I mean putting a dent in your A1C, your overall A1C in as little as 14 days. A huge dent. If you're ready to put a huge dent in your A1C, like many people have done in this 14-day challenge, from an 8 to a 6, from a 7.1 to a 5.7, if that's you, then the challenge is calling your name. Use that discount code ESCAPE. It's a live discount code because we're getting ready to get out of here, folks. Let's see if I missed any other questions before we get out of here. All right, I'm ready. All right. What about zero sodas? No. Zero sodas are terrible for you. They don't raise your blood sugar, but they do cause you to be more insulin resistant. They don't raise your blood sugar, but they cause you to be more insulin resistant. And they tear up your gut, right? Because it's artificial. You don't want artificial stuff in your real body. Not that difficult. Diet and exercise is key. Nothing more, nothing less. That's it. You're right, James. That's it. It ain't difficult. It's simple. Let me say it's difficult. It's simple, but it's not easy. Let me say that. It's simple. You're right. Super, super simple what you got to do. It's what you're eating. And you're not moving your body. It's what you are eating. It's causing it. Mostly. But the difficult part is this. Change. Change is one hell of a thing, James. That is the hardest thing for people to do, is to change, especially when it's something that as personal as food. Food, do you know how personal food is? Food is the most personal, one of the most personal things that there is. You tell somebody they can't eat this or that, they eat that, oh yeah, you're gonna feel it. Because food is that personal. They're gonna give you a backlash. They're gonna give you a smack, talking about my damn food. Because that's my food. That's mine. So that's the difficult part. Changing your relationship with food. That's the difficult part. But the process is easy. You're right. Just, diet and exercise. That's it. Maintaining your pace, peaceful mind, active body, clean eating, effective sleep. That's it. But it's simple, but it ain't easy. But here it is, folks. My name's Kelley, your certified holistic nutritionist. Getting ready to get up out of here. I talk about all things type 2 diabetes. If you missed the live today, we're over here. You can watch the replay on all the other ones, socials, YouTubes, and Facebooks, and what else? LinkedIn. Go watch the replay there. But until then, folks, good morning. We're getting ready to get out of here, Bridget. You're saying good morning, but we're saying good evening because we're getting ready to get out of here. You just missed us. But until then, folks, you think about it. You're like, yeah, I'm thinking about it. If you say, yeah, I've thought about how much medication I've taken over the years and nothing's changed. The only thing that's changed is how much more medication I'm taking. That's the only thing that's changed. You think about that. And think about if nothing continues to change, then nothing is going to change. Just marinate on that one overnight. Just marinate on that one. If nothing changes, nothing is going to change. But for things to change, you are going to have to change. That's the solution. How do you get things to change? How do you get off your blood sugar medication? Oh yeah, you got to change. That's it. But that's the hardest thing. That's the most difficult thing in the world. But you've got a choice. So here's the thing I'm going to leave y'all with, folks. We'll be back on the next live tomorrow. But when the diet is wrong, medication is of no use. But when the diet is correct, medication is of no need. You've got some choices. You see, when we're born, we look like our parents. You be like, I look like my mom and my dad, whoever. You look like your grandpa. You look like your parents when you're born. But when you die, you want to know who we look like? We look like our choices.